Hello everybody, today we are going to put in this new color changing flat panel light from Commercial Electric. Our first step, we're going to go ahead and get it unpacked and see what we're working with, and then we'll go look at our job area and see what we need to do. So I'm going to pause the video and get this unpacked. Alright, so the light's flipped over, and this is the mounting plate that we're going to attach to our ceiling. It right now is held on with some tape here and those zip ties. So we're going to go ahead and cut those off.
And put a piece of tape up here. Alright, so after you cut all those, you slide the mounting plate over to the left. There's a little arrow here telling you once you get it over far enough. We'll lift right out. So we have our mounting plate, and then we can take off these guys here.
And then what we have left, we have our wires, and then these are hooks to you hook onto the mounting plate at these locations so that it's dangling while you're putting the wires in. And it also has these little swing bars that will attach onto here that allow you to pop it up and slide it over. So with this unpacked the way it is, let's go look at our work area and make sure we have everything set up. All right, so this is where we're working today. We took out that old light and we are going to replace it with that fluorescent light. So we have our wires sticking down this plate, go over that, something like that, and then the light will snap into place. So I'm going to go ahead and get the instructions and stuff, and we'll go ahead and get this started. All right, so to secure our mounting plate, you feed the wires through and you hold it up. You look through these slots to find your holes. And then you take your screws and look.
Get the one started, you can grab your drill and put it up so the way don't take it all the way home. Or just get it tight to hold it. We'll do the same thing with the other side here.
So that's roughed in. So now I'm going to get the tape measure and make sure that we're centered left to right and that we're not twisted. Alright, so using the tape measure, we'll make sure that we're even on both sides. So on this side I'm at 19 and 11/16. Here I'm at 19, so we need to turn it. So I'm going to try 11 1/4. And it's still just a little off, so we're going to go 5/16. Almost there. That's 19 1/4, 19 1/4. So we'll go from the other side, 19 1/4, and about 19, a little under 1/4. So we're sitting pretty good. So now we need to mark our holes for the toggle bolts. Toggle bolts go in your 4 outside corners. Draw circles. That'll give us a spot where we're going to drill our pilot holes. So with those 4 corners marked, now we take this back off and then we'll drill for our bolts. So now we need a 1/2 inch drill bit and we'll drill out our 4 holes. All right, so we just center on the hole. So you can see on these two, we ended up hitting the side of the rafter, but that's all right because the toggle bolt just kind of angle off to the side. So we'll still be able to make that work. Alright, so for these toggle bolts, to put them in here, you have to take it off of the wing like that, and then you just put it through the hole and you start screwing it back on. We're going to do that for all 4. Once you kind of get it part way, you can stop. You need enough room in there so that when they fold up, they go up through, and then they expand out when they get past that drywall. So, like I said, we'll put them in all 4. Alright, so to reinsert this mounting plate, just pop those through the toggle bolts into the holes that we drilled. With all those toggle bolts in, and if you kind of give them a pull, you can see if they're engaged. Now, it didn't say to do this in the instructions, but I'm going to do it anyway, where I'm going to put these mounting holes back in.
These mounting bolts, because I'll kind of hold it up in place, I can double check that we're in the right spot, and that we're square, and then we'll do this. Then we'll get the toggle bolts all fastened down. Again, it didn't say this in the instructions, but I'm going to go do it anyway. We can always back them out later if we want, and we know we need 19 1/4 inches. There and there. So I'm going to tighten these up a little bit more. Secure, keep it from moving on.
On toggle bolts, sometimes it's easier to take a pair of pliers just to give it a little bit of pressure downward. Button it up. Alright, so we're going to do the rest of these bolts. Not much we can do about that. So,
Same basic process here. That one, I'm going to
alright, mounting plate is secured. Alright, so with your fixture then you have to make sure that your arrows line up. So there's an arrow, let's see if we can see everything. The arrow here needs to match the arrow here, and then you pull this up, you can click this into the slot here. So that it's hanging and allow you to do your wiring and whatnot. Alright, so now that the fixture is in here, we can start doing wiring. Alright, so to do your wiring, your black to your power and white to white. I'm going to use the nuts that they sent. Make sure your electric is off. I did double check mine before we started this, so I am good. Alright, so we have our black and white hooked up, and for my ground, the box is grounded. On mine, it's kind of an older wiring, so the ground wire is connected to the box. So I am just going to connect it through the screw right here. I'm going to twist it around. See my arm in the way or not, but we're gonna hook that on, screw it tight so that we're grounded to the box itself. So our next thing is to connect these slide arms, which we pick it up and we line it up. It clicks right on there. We'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, so these slide arms are on. And underneath here, we are going to shove these wires up here. You know, just be careful that you don't, break any connections or anything. But you want the least amount of wires poking down as possible to make sure that it sits nice and flush and nothing gets pinched. So over on the one side here, let's see if we can see it. There's a switch here where you can change the settings so that it's not quite as bright. So if we turn this on, we got that nice bright light, and we can cycle through the different ones. So you can see the light changes. You can do whichever one you want. So you'll have to play with that, figure out which light you want. I think I like this one's what I'll start with, and then I'll change it if my wife tells me to. And basically to put it on, just rotate it up and slides over. I missed it. There we go. Oop. Now our light's up, turns on, turns off. So project complete, light works. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm sure there'll be some electrical people telling me I did something wrong, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on it, like I said, leave them in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, and we will talk to you soon.